Hey everyone, welcome back. Icon here. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. Today, I wanted to break down just the last few rounds of this search and destroy matchup between Atlanta and Dallas. So I really feel like there were a couple things in these last few rounds that if there were some mistakes that were corrected, this game could have went either way. So as you see, as I start playing this here at the top of your screen, we are picking up it's 4-4, and this is the very first thing. We're 4 seconds into the round, and we're on board with Simp. He's gonna get a pick right here, but as he gets that pick, he takes out Hugh. He also is able to relay to his teammates that they have a lot of people going A, right? So if Atlanta had an A push on, then they would back away from that. Then Major Maniac also got information right there. He saw Shotzzy jump down from up top. So they know that Dallas has control of A site. So as you're looking at the minimap in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that all of these red arrows that are right here are going to start to back off a little bit. So rather than try to force and go A, even though they have a man advantage, they're going to adjust a little bit because Dallas completely sold out. So like when you were on board with Major Maniac right there, he realized that he had SMGs in his face. So there's no reason to push that. Now, unfortunately, you can see that what was a 5v4 advantage has now just been evened. And this is something that you don't really, you don't love to see. This is a pretty aggressive challenge here from Crim. But Crim is 7 on the minimap. Crim is right here, and he was able to take out Major Maniac in bar. So if you're Dallas, you have to be thinking, well, we have all of A, so this has to be a rotation. And from Atlanta's standpoint, as you're watching those arrows, now, again, it's a 4v4. So it was a 5v5, it's a 4v4, and now Simp evens the odds again. And that's why having a sniper like Simp is so dominant, or Dashy, or Formal runs it for Chicago. But if they can get 2 picks, then you're constantly putting yourself in that man advantage. And now all of a sudden the rounds are much easier. So clearly this is a rotation, right? You have Crim and you have Shotzzy down at A. They're not seeing anything. So at this point in time, they should be realizing that this is probably a rotation over towards B. And you can see on the minimap, again, bottom left-hand corner, you can see all of these Atlanta arrows. They're starting to push up towards mid-map. Simp is no longer watching this cross here. Simp is now pushed up into top blue, and he's watching the flank. He's waiting for Shotzzy or Crim to push. So this is just kind of rotated, right? They're still playing a little bit defensive. They do have to push up the map a little bit, but Simp is just in the back waiting for the flank. CLAYSTER gets a nice pick right there to even the odds. Again, now it's back to 3v3. So at this point in time, you can see that Shotzzy is rotating. They're starting to change, and they're starting to rotate over towards B. And again, Simp gets another pick. I want you guys to just realize that the entire advantage on this round has been from Simp. Simp gave them a 5v4. Then somebody peeked and it was even to 4v4. Simp gave them a 4v3. Then somebody peeked and it was a 3v3. And now, again, he's able to kill CLAYSTER right there. So now it's a 3v2. So at this point, you're going to have Shotzzy rotating through mid. You can see. So just to kind of make this so it's a little bit easier to see, Shotzzy is right here, and he's picking up that it's obviously a B rotation. And then Crim is, I think he's going to start to flank. He's looking that way, but if he starts to flank, then he's able to pinch from behind. But right now, so one thing I do want to point out, even though Atlanta has a 3v2, they don't really have a huge advantage because of the fact that Simp was sniping. Now, Simp was able to pick up an AR. I think that's from his teammate that died up top. So if you knew that Simp was still sniping, having a 3v2 and the opposite team, if one of those 3 is a sniper, then that doesn't really give you a massive advantage, just because if everything's happening around a bomb site, then that sniper doesn't really help that team out. So those are kind of the things that are important to take in. But let's go ahead. Let's see how this round plays out. We're watching Simp mid-map. Everybody's just kind of holding clear. And right now, Shotzzy heard him plant. So Shotzi's going to rush. He's going to get the kill, and he's going to try to get away, right? He's just trying to play his life. Now, one thing that I want you to realize, and I hate this play from Crim6 that comes up, look at the top of your screen. There's 13 seconds left, right? So just keep that in mind. So Shotzzy He knows that he's being shot at. I don't like this challenge either. Shotzi's going to go back in. He's going to challenge this. There's 9 seconds left. And you know that there's nobody else near the bomb, right? So I don't love the fact that he challenges that, because now he puts Crim in a 1v2. If he just runs upstairs and circles back, now they still have that advantage. And are they able to get the bomb down? Probably not. I mean, there's 8 seconds left right now. So unless that other player has came back, grabbed the bomb, and planted, then you're going to end up winning that round. So at this point in time, Atlanta, the only way that they can win this round is by killing Crim, right? So Simp is going to grab it right here. You can see that there's not enough time in the top of your screen. At 4.8, there's not enough time. So Crim gets that kill, and this is a mistake to me. For this, I understand getting the kill on Simp, but if you see that other player and there's 3 seconds left, you have to run away, and he does run away, but I don't love that challenge right there, because there is a chance he's the last one left. I just feel like there were some risks taken right there by both Shotzi and Crim that didn't have to be taken, right? If they just back away and they just wait for a plant, I know that they're putting themselves down. This is a really aggressive way to play, but you can then retake, right? You'd have a 2v2 retake. I just don't love it, especially with the time situation and knowing that they probably didn't have enough time to plant. So again, sometimes these guys just take risks and they play off, but if Crim ends up dying right there, that would have been a horrendous way to end up losing that round. Right there, you just saw Illy throw a nade. The only reason why he threw that nade is so that they would blow up that car to the left. So if you're playing Search and Destroy and you know that you want to do an A push, make sure somebody throws a nade over at that car, because the last thing you want to do is be running by it, and then the enemy team throws a nade and ends up blowing you up. So we're going to see some aggression right here out of Dallas. They take site right away, and we just saw this 2 rounds in a row, right? So even though they were on defense last round, they were super aggressive with their SMGs and they took site. So now on offense, they're even being aggressive and they're taking site as well. Abizi is hiding right here. He gets one, and then as he's getting pushed, he gets this lucky headshot right there, and he's able to get Huke before he gets traded out by Illy. So a lot just happened right there. But essentially at this point in time, you have, so Crim6 gets a 2-piece right there, which is a little bit unfortunate, because if you were to rewind just 1 second, it was a 4v2, right? And if you have a 4v2, now all of a sudden you're probably going to end up winning this round, because you know where bomb is. You know bomb's going A. Crim gets a really clutch 2-piece right there, and now it's a 2v2. So the thing right now with Crim, let me set up the scenario right here. So Crim has bomb, he's on A. CLAYSTER is back here, and he's just watching flank, right? He's watching all the way down through here so that he can relay information to Crim. He knows if somebody's pushing him from behind. He knows if somebody entered, bottom arches or is going up top or wherever. So the only thing that Clay is doing right now is trying to gather information. Of course, you can see that Priesta's pushed up right here. So if Priesta was to push, he would end up dying because Clay is watching from behind him. But if you're on defense, you don't have to do that. So this play from Crim and Clay's a little weird. I think they try to outsmart themselves. With Clay's looking, he should know that nobody's up top, right? He's holding down that line of sight the entire time. So if nobody else has come in, and if you're Crim, then you should be able to get the bomb down. And right there, you just saw Priesta throw a stun. So with that, if you switch to Clay right here, look, now Clay knows where he's at, right? Because Priesta threw that stun. So if you're Clay, you should say, get the bomb down. And I think, again, my guess would be that they're thinking, so Clay and Crim are thinking that Simp has rotated up top A. So Crim's going to end up pushing through, and they're going to try to push and plan on B. And especially with that right there, if CLAYSTER just got those shots on a Priesta, he knows that Priesta's trying to run away. So at this point, just go plan A, right? You have the bomb. You have control of A site. Just go plan it. So I feel like they easily could have ended up winning this right now. I think Crim, you just saw him turn around, and Crim looked up top to top A just to see if anybody was up there. So that kind of confirms the fact that they're thinking that Simp is top A and Priesta was watching the flank, so they would have it both covered from both ways. But if you're Crim and you were on bomb for 30-35 seconds, just get it down. So with Crim coming here, he's running right into Simp's hands. The other thing you should know is you should know that Simp has been sniping the last few rounds, right? So if he's sniping, he's not going to be top A with a sniper unless he grabs one of his teammates' guns, but his teammates died on bomb, so that would have been impossible. So Crim goes to get this bomb down, and they easily could have had control of A site, and they just gave it up. So kind of a critical error there. CLAYSTER does end up getting that kill on Priesta, but this whole time, if you're watching the time at the top of your screen, there's 4.8 seconds left. So even with this, there's no time, so there's no point for Clay to go grab bomb. So he's trying to find Simp, and that's just, at this point in time, it's impossible, right? He's just running away, playing his life. So with that, it ends up being 5-5. Both of these rounds so far, I feel like there were just strategy mistakes that were made. Now, there's no way, if you're in game, there's no way of knowing, right? We have hindsight of knowing where people are, but if you have control of sight, there's nobody been there for 30 seconds, Clay's watching your push, there's probably nobody top A. And even if there is somebody top A, you can plant in a way that they can't kill you, right? You can hide behind the bomb. If you're afraid of them being top window, then plant on the other side of the bomb. They just didn't do that. So now we're in round 11, right? It's tied 5-5. We're in round 11. Dallas is on offense again. So let's go ahead and let's see here. So this is, I don't love this play from Abizi, right? Because the round just before this, he was able to get a lucky two-piece. He did get a two-piece. The one he killed top boxes right in front of him. The other, he got that headshot. But he's in the exact same spot. So they know that he's going to be here, right? I mean, even if they don't know, they're definitely going to check it. So I don't get into a habit if you're playing Search and Destroy. Don't get into a habit of going to the same spots over and over again. If you're Dallas, you should just be throwing, you should have just thrown a nade or two right in that spot just to try to coordinate team nades, get that kill. So Abizi pushes forward. As soon as he does, he gets a kill on Shotzi, and then he wraps back. So right now, it's a 5v4. Abizi knows there's somebody there, and he accidentally gets taken out by Major Maniac. Obviously, that was an accident. He was trying to finish that kill. So now it's 4v4. They know that the bomb's down A, right? So this is kind of what we're looking at. Let's just look at the arrows and the lines of sight. Simp is up top restaurant right here. He's watching the rotation. Then you actually had two people. You had Priesta, you had Major Maniac, but mainly Priesta is looking mid, right? And he's watching the flank through here. So they know that bomb is down on A, and they have two people watching the rotation. So at this point in time, if you're Dallas, you could say, well, obviously everybody knows we're on A. Let's grab the bomb. Let's rotate out. Let's go B. They can't do that right now because Atlanta has two people watching the rotations. So they're kind of stuck here in a way. They know they have to get kills. They know they have to plant here. Now it's kind of like a waiting game, right? It's a 4v4, so at this point, there's 30 seconds left, so you do kind of want to just try to get picks. If you can get a kill or two and end up giving yourself that man advantage, that's really going to be helpful because then you can just trade everything else. Now, right there, Major Maniac was so close to getting that kill, but as soon as he shot, he gave up his position. So this is an easy kill from Hugh. He's going to pre-fire. He's going to kill Major Maniac in that corner, which gives them the 4v3 advantage. Now, as we go forward, Priesta comes in. That would have sealed the deal for Dallas right there. Had Hugh been able to get that two-piece on Priesta, who was sliding in from mid-map, that would have gave them the advantage. But he gets traded out, so now we're back to a 3v3. All the while, 15 seconds has come off the clock. There's 15 seconds left. So Illy's starting to get the bomb down. Celium, oh, man, that was a weird play from Crim. Because if you were to look at this from Crim's positioning, there were bullets coming through the door, right? So let me go back. So I just got a new keyboard and it doesn't have arrow keys. It's 10 keyless. So let me go back. If you're Crim right here, you know that there are arrows. Arrows. You know that there are bullets coming through the door, right? And they're coming this way. So if there are bullets coming through the door that way, then that means that Celium has to be in this corner, right? He can't be up here, and I know there's a lot drawing up, but he can't be up the stairs. So if you're Crim, there's no point in challenging this. to begin with, this is super aggressive. But even if so, you're pushing through a door and you don't know exactly where he is, but he's probably in front of you. So the fact that he pushes in and looks, the first place he looks is up the door, is a little bit of a mistake. I wouldn't have pushed in. I would have just went backwards. I would have let Illy was on bomb. I would have let Illy plan in, and now you had the advantage, right? If you have more people up and you have the advantage, so just with this, he does end up getting this down. A little bit of a mistake there, but he gets the bomb down. Simp is going to be able to get that kill. Major win right there from Simp. That's a really hard. He was wide open. Illy was head glitching the bomb. Nice kill there. And then this is pretty intense, okay? So CLAYSTER, he knew that Simp just got a kill from the other side, right? From down bottom on the other side. So he's going to peek up top. As he's peeking up top, I feel like this is an area where Clay probably could have been more aggressive, right? He got 2 shots into Simp, and if you allow Simp to have a second chance, that's probably not going to go your way. So if you're Clay, you know that he jumped out that window. You're thinking that he might be bottom stairs, but again, he could be coming from behind you again. If I'm Clay, so he checks bomb, really smart, check bomb, make sure nobody's on it, because that would have been a heady play from Simp, right? Oh, I'm wounded. Let me just go hop on the bomb real quick. Maybe I can ninja defuse. If I'm Clay, you now have to reposition. You have to go somewhere else. So Simp is just going to go back up exactly where he came from, because Simp doesn't know if Clay rotated. But in this position, you have to change your positioning, right? You have to, whether it's go back to your spawn or go to one of the corners on the opposite sides, kind of by white van over there, you have to change your positioning. And Simp, now, this is online, right? He what we saw, then Clay was clearly around the corner, those few shots right there. But Simp is able to clutch up, and again, he ends up winning this map for Atlanta. Big win there for Atlanta. They needed this to get back into the series, even though it didn't end up mattering. But if you're Clay, you have to get out, right? You have to reposition. So in each of these, even though these are probably the best 2 S&D teams in the game right now, I feel like there were just some mistakes that were made. Now, it's easy to say from hindsight. I will give them that. It's easy to say in hindsight that they should have done this or should have done that, because we can tell where people are. But just from gathering information from around the map, I feel like we can make those assumptions and be pretty clear with them, even if we didn't know where people were at. So with that, guys, if you're new around here and you like this sort of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I put out new videos like this every single day. If you guys have any comments whatsoever, also put them down below. I love reading the comments. I love the interactions. Leave a like before you head on your way. It just really helps out the channel. And with that, guys, thank you so much. I will catch you in tomorrow's upload.